Hello, and welcome to the Bronx Movie Club. I am your host, Justin McCullough. If you're watching this, that means that you're most likely a movie fan like myself. In the Bronx, that may not be the easiest thing to be. We only have 2 movie theaters, so if you're looking for something other than blockbusters and popular movies, we gotta go down to Manhattan to see them. That's just the way it is. I can't really complain about it, but I would like this show to not only discuss the big movies that are out now and are set to be released soon, but also the older, foreign, and more unknown movies as well that we wouldn't be able to see in the Bronx. I don't really have a set structure for this show as of yet, but the goal of this show is to have fun, talk about movies, comics, television, and other things that I enjoy with my friends and guest hosts as the season goes on. So you guys can look forward to movie reviews and our takes on the new movie news as well. But this show would be nothing without my viewers, so if you have ideas for the show, do not hesitate to email us and let us know what you want to see. So now that all that's out of the way, enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. This is the very first episode of the Bronx Movie Club. I am your host, Justin McCullough, and I'm glad to finally be on the air, talking with you guys, talking about the movies that we all love, and the movies that we want to see. So when I first set up this show, I wanted to present my love of movies throughout the whole borough of the Bronx. We only have 2 theaters in the entire borough, and it's a shame that so many great movies are unable to be seen by our fellow Bronxites. We have to go out to the city or into Brooklyn to catch any of these movies that we want to see. So that's pretty much the point of my show. For the very first show, since we're in January 2019, I thought we'd talk about the Oscar nominations. So let's get to it. For Best Picture, we have The Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. So, but my personal take is that Green Book is going to win. I wasn't a big fan of Green Book, but it's been winning Best Picture in all the other award shows so far, and there's no reason for me to think that it won't happen here in the Academy Awards either. What should win is Black Klansman. Black Klansman, I think, is the best Spike Lee movie that's come out in years. Spike Lee is finally getting recognition for his work, and he put out good work from his actors using basically this, like a similar style to what he's always done. Roma, I think, is also a hit for the is good for the win. Also, that's another movie that should win. I'll tell you, it's a little bit of cynicism to say that the Academy does like these kind of artsy-fartsy kind of movies. It's in black and white, it's in Spanish, you know. It's not the kind of movie that draws in the crowds, which is why it was put on Netflix and not in a regular movie theater. But yeah, so basically Green Book is gonna win. Roma and Black Klansman should win, if there's any justice in the Academy. The Best Actor nominations are Christian Bale for Vice, Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. I personally pick Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody to win this. He just won a major award for it for the Golden Globes. And personally, I haven't seen Willem Dafoe in At Eternity's Gate, but I personally believe he is the most deserving out of this pile, even though I will say Christian Bale did go above and beyond to make himself look like Dick Cheney for this role. But I really want to see Rami Malek win. Best Actress, we have Yalitza Aparicio for Roma, Glenn Close for The Wife, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Lady Gaga for A Star is Born, and Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? Now, I believe Olivia Colman is going to win for The Favorite. She plays Queen Anne in this movie, and she just kind of like, really just like Christian Bale does for Dick Cheney, she kind of like disappears into her role and becomes this kind of entitled, never had to think about anyone else sort of queen. You know, she does a perfect job playing this kind of person. Yalitza Aparicio from the maid from Roma, I would love to have win. I would love to see a Mexican actress first time behind the camera win an Academy Award, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? Even though I haven't seen it, the trailer looks like she's knocking out of the park. So I would like to see her win also. But it's definitely, I believe, it's definitely going to go to Olivia Colman. Best Supporting Actor, we have Mahershala Ali for The Green Book, Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell for Vice. Now, I have Mahershala Ali winning, because he's my favorite actor out of this pile, first of all. And then also, just for the love that The Green Book has been given like this past award season, I think Mahershala Ali really has like the in for this Academy Award. Sam Rockwell, I know people love Sam Rockwell, and I know he looks very good playing George W. Bush in Vice, but it's going to Mahershala Ali. Okay. Supporting Actress, we have Amy Adams for Vice, Marina de Tavira for Roma, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk, Emma Stone for The Favorite, and Rachel Weisz for The Favorite. I enjoyed The Favorite, but Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz aren't as good as Regina King, or at least this award season. Regina King is my homegirl. Even though any acting award that has Amy Adams in it is kind of like, you would think that Amy Adams is going to walk away with it, but I think Regina King is going to take it this year. Fingers crossed. Animated pictures, we have The Incredibles Part 2, Isle of Dogs, the Japanese film Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Anyone who has seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse knows that this is the best animated film of 2018. Nothing comes close. Spider-Man gets my vote. Best Director, Spike Lee for Black Klansman, Powell Pawlowski for The Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. I will say that this year is probably the year for having Best Director nominations with hard-to-pronounce names, but I hope so bad that Spike Lee wins this one. This is the first time that Spike Lee has ever been nominated for Best Director at the Oscars, and I feel it's very unfair that this is happening. If anything, Spike Lee may just win just off as an apology for what they've done to him for Malcolm X and Do the Right Thing, and God knows what other films that he really should have been nominated for. Alfonso Cuarón, is definitely like a good runner-up for it also. Yorgos Lanthimos, his The Favorite, looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking film. But Spike Lee deserves it more. Sorry. For adapted screenplay, I have The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, If Beale Street Can Talk, and A Star Is Born. I gotta go with The Black Klansman. Really, I haven't seen Can You Ever Forgive Me, so I can't really say anything about that screenplay. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs also is a very good screenplay, but yeah, I'm gonna juggle it out and say between Black Klansman and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It's my pick. As far as original screenplay, we have The Favorite, First Reformed, Green Book, Roma, and Vice. And Roma isn't much of a film that has a screenplay. If you've seen Roma on Netflix, you know that it's not known for it. It's not known for its dialogue or anything. So I don't know. I really think Green Book is going to win it. What should win, I can't really say. So I'm going to pick Green Book as what they're going to pick for this one. Those are the major nominees for Oscars. I didn't go into the smaller categories basically because there are categories that I really don't feel comfortable in knowing who would win. It's not really like technical categories that I know what would look good and what would look bad. And also, these are kind of the categories that people skip over when it comes on ABC anyway, when it comes to the Oscars. So I figured I'd give the ones that everybody would be, betting on, in their little Oscar pools back at the job. So, and yeah. So those are my picks for the Oscar nominations. I'm going to take a quick break, actually, and I'll be right back with some other stuff that I think would be interesting. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin McCullough again. I'm back with a review for Operation Finale, directed by Chris Weitz, starring Oscar Isaac, Sarah Benning Kingsley. I'm gonna get into a little bit about who directed. Chris Weitz, the name didn't ring a bell in my mind, but I didn't realize he's the brother of Paul Weitz, who directed American Pie, and he also just happened to co-direct American Pie as well. So you're watching like a heavy drama directed by the guy who did American Pie. So he's also known for Golden Compass, Twilight, New Moon, About a Boy, Down to Earth. So like a lot of movies that you wouldn't necessarily think of as like a serious drama, really, but he wrote Rogue One, he wrote A Mountain Between Us, Nutty Professor Part 2, so he's very eclectic as well. So that doesn't particularly show in this movie, so it just kind of shows that you can be skilled at many genres and still be good at all of them and not have to mix and be awkward about it. So obviously Oscar Isaacs plays Peter Malkin. He's best known for being Poe Dameron in the Star Wars movies. Sarah Benning Kingsley. Hey, listen, he's most known for Gandhi, but younger people may know him from Iron Man 3 as the Mandarin. He was also in Setsy Beast, which my generation may know him best for, but other stuff, Schindler's List. So let's get on to what the movie's about. The movie's about the 1960s abduction, I guess you can say, of Adolf Eichmann, who is basically the architect of the final solution back in World War II when Hitler and the Nazis were getting rid of Jews, throughout Germany. This was Eichmann's plan to move them to different concentration camps and to liquidate them when the time came. So after the war, Eichmann found his way down to Buenos Aires and stayed there under an assumed name. One woman ended up meeting his son in a movie theater, and once she found out, because she was Jewish, she found out that her father was who he was. She contacts Israeli government, and they make a secret Mossad. They make a secret Mossad operation to get him out, take him to Israel, and have him stand trial. What makes this movie interesting, though, is just that it's like I've kind of seen this movie as what if Black Klansmen, everyone on that police force and Black Klansmen were black, and that would probably be what Operation Finale would be. So you have all these Jewish people who have direct knowledge and contact of the Holocaust. They have parents who died. They themselves were probably taken somewhere. Some of them have the tattoos in their arm and things like that, and they're out to capture alive the guy who made all that happen. So there's drama in that, and everyone wants to kill the person. Everyone wants this to be the one to kill the guy, but their job is to take him alive. So I felt that very interesting. So I kind of imagined what if a whole bunch of black police officers went and met these KKK people and had to treat them fairly and things like that. It's just kind of like I felt similarities between the two. Not only similarities between that, but there's also similarities between the two movies, as in there is this almost surreal speech given by a Nazi in Buenos Aires during the film. So as I said, the woman who meets Eichmann's son, he invites her to this Nazi gathering, and even though she's Catholic, but she's secretly Jewish, so she goes anyway. Everyone's giving the Nazi salute and going crazy and totally freaking her out. It was very surreal. It kind of reminded me of the KKK meeting at the end of Black Klansman as well. So I just saw a little bit of similarity with that. Spoke about Oscar Isaac, who played Poe Dameron, Sir Ben Kingsley, who played pretty much anything, especially but he's best known for Gandhi, best known for Sexy Beast as well. Matthew Orton wrote this film, and really, it's basically, from what I've been looking up, Matthew Orton, it's his first produced film that he written. He has movies Battle of Britain and The Reason of State coming out soon, but neither one of them are anywhere near production. So this is really his first film. Another one I found interesting. There's the one woman in the crew, the doctor, who's assigned to make the special cocktail to make sure that Eichmann is drugged up enough so that they can smuggle him out of Israel. Smuggle him out of Buenos Aires. The actor's name is Melanie Laurent. She's a French actress, but Americans, probably more than likely, Americans would only know her for her role as Shosanna in like Inglourious Bastards. She's the woman who she was the young girl at the beginning of Inglourious Bastards who grew up to be obviously Melanie Laurent. So that's who she is. Also, if any of you guys have been to France and watched The Simpsons, she is the voice of Lisa in The Simpsons in France. So the more I talk, the more I realize I'm gonna have to edit half of this stuff. So I will say that if you're interested in a drama, if you're interested in actual live events, this is a movie that would I would recommend for you. If I have to give it something out of 4 stars, I would give it 3 stars. That's a solid 3-star movie. Like, it's a kind of movie that we may forget next year, but as of now, it's not a bad movie. I can't say I enjoyed it because it's very it gets intense a little bit, especially when you go into the backgrounds of the different people, the agents who are assigned to take him out, because they all give kind of stories on who's left, like their family who got killed, they're the only one who survived, or the reason why Oscar Isaac's character has the feelings he has, and at the same time he's being manipulated psychologically by Eichmann, and they go through that kind of back and forth mental cat and mouse game. So yeah, it was definitely well acted. You have great actors in here. Definitely no slouches. The writing was on point. No wasted words, no filler, which is something that I always recommend. I guess next time, I will see you guys later with another movie. And hopefully I can talk more pretty next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back to the Bronx Movie Club. Once again, I'm your host, Justin McCullough. And for this segment, I wanted to talk to you about a little bit of controversy that came from the Academy Awards nominations from earlier this week. And specifically with the movie Black Panther being nominated as for Best Picture. Now, ever since the nominations came out earlier this week, I've been seeing it in my Twitter timeline, I've been seeing it in my YouTube timeline, all about how Black Panther does not deserve to be nominated for Best Picture. And from what I've seen so far, their arguments pretty much boil down to a few things. Like, first off, they say that it's not the best MCU movie of 2018. People seem to think that Infinity War was. They say that the nomination in and of itself is just pandering to a black audience so that ABC can have more viewers for their Academy Awards show. And lastly, they say that Disney is pushing its weight around and forcing pretty much the Academy to nominate Black Panther, since Black Panther is a Disney movie. So I'm just going to start off from the first point here. Infinity War is not the best MCU film. I know some of you people watching are kind of clutching your pearls a little bit, but it's true. The Avengers series in general, they're a fun series of films, but at the same time, they're not the best comic book movies made. There are better movies than the Avengers. What people seem to like out of it is kind of like the play school, the sandbox effect of the movie. You get to have Thor fight the Hulk, fight, Iron Man or something. But at the same time, it's just like, does that really make it an excellent movie worthy of like Best Picture? No. There are better movies. Me personally, Black Panther is better than all the Avengers movies. I personally think that Ant-Man is better than all the Avengers movies, in my opinion. But to say that Infinity War is better than Black Panther, which is why Black Panther shouldn't be nominated, isn't a good point. I mean, and also, Infinity War requires too much from the viewer. The Infinity War has all these different characters from all these other movies that the audience is expected to know who they are, what their background is, why they say certain things, why they do certain things, why certain drama comes from certain actions from these characters. And the average moviegoer, just Joe Schmo moviegoer who hasn't seen any MCU movie before, is going to walk into the theater, watch Infinity War, and not know what is going on. So how can you say that's a best picture if only a small portion of the audience actually knows what this movie's about? The fans of this movie is really, like, it's a good movie, but at the same time, the fans kind of put it on a pedestal because of all the emotional investment they've put into it over the last decade. MCU is made up of, 19 films by now, right? There's very many films, and it's all kind of comes to a point at Infinity War. So that's why there's a much more, I guess people could call it stakes or, emotional investment from the audience who have seen all these movies. Doesn't necessarily make it, the best movie of the year. And then lastly, which is kind of like, self-evident, the Academy Awards doesn't normally, matter of fact, doesn't nominate comic book movies at all. Like, the Academy is it's kind of like a stereotype of the Academy that they just wouldn't nominate genre films. If they were big on nominating good comic book movies, they would have nominated Logan last year because that was a very good film. Most people argue that should have been nominated. Most people argue that should have won Best Picture last year, even though I will say Moonlight was a very good movie. It did deserve Best Picture. But I have to say, the people who say that it's not the best comic book movie, I would tell them to just sit back and enjoy the fact that comic book movies have been, recognized by the Academy for anything other than visual effects, which really has been the place for these comic book movies. The next argument I see all the time is that the nomination is only to pander to black audiences. And I just can't agree with that because first off, this kind of line of thinking is the exact same kind of thinking that makes somebody go to wherever, like you go to Macy's and you see a black man working and you say, oh, well, he only has a job because of affirmative action. He's only there because they need a quota. That's the exact same kind of thing of saying that this is the only reason why this film is nominated. You see this film with an all-black cast and an all-black crew, and then automatically, oh, well, it's because they're black and that's why they need to nominate them, and no, don't worry, they're not real movie makers. They just need a quota. It's like, that's the same kind of thing. And, does that mean that, 98% of the movies that the Academy has nominated within the past 91 years, have been pandering to white people? Because all of them have all white casts. All of them have all white crews. In some cases, they have all white male crews. So is it pandering to white men only? So I think that, personally, a lot of people may say, yes, they are pandering to white people specifically because they get so angry at the fact that a black film is being nominated. But then again, this is not a political show. This show is about, movies and movie making. So I can leave off of that. But if anything, if this nomination panders to anyone, it panders to the wider audience. More people have seen Black Panther last year than any other movie nominated. Matter of fact, more people have seen Black Panther than any other movie at all last year. It made $700 million in the United States box office, which is the most money of any movie that came out in the United States. You can't say that with the other popular films. So, if anything, it may be the only nomination in the Academy Awards that people have actually seen, especially here in the Bronx, where only, 3 or 4 of the movies on the Best Picture list have actually played in a Bronx theater, Not including Roma, because that played in Netflix, but still, everyone has seen Black Panther. So black, white, whoever. So it's really pandering to the popular culture if it's pandering to anybody. And lastly, which I think is the silliest one of all, the argument of all, is that Disney is pushing its weight around to force the Academy to nominate these films. That makes no sense. And the reason why is because every studio is pushing their weight around. if you're in the Academy, all the studios are coming at you with free DVDs of their movies that they want you to vote for, swag. They're pretty much kissing your butt to try to have you nominate or vote these movies in for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best whatever. There's whole campaigns, companies specifically hired to campaign these people in the Academy to vote for these movies. So for Disney, for you to point out Disney as the only company that does that, that makes no sense because every studio is doing it. And even if Disney did have the pull to force the Academy to nominate Black Panther, why hasn't Disney done it with any other movie that it has? The last Disney movie to be nominated for Best Picture was Toy Story 3. That was almost 10 years ago. So I don't see the big bad Disney juggernaut being that powerful. You know, if you can only do it twice in one decade, you're not really that powerful. So that's, you know, what I got here. I mean, my bottom line is that Black Panther does deserve to be nominated, just like any other movie that has been nominated for Best Picture. People are mainly using their racial biases to belittle the importance of this film and to belittle the fact that the Academy has recognized them for the hard work that they've done and the kind of artwork that they've put out in theaters. And also, like, if a film like Gladiator can be nominated and win for Best Picture, any movie can. Because Gladiator was not the best movie of that year. Gladiator was not even the best movie to be nominated in that selection. So for Gladiator to win means that all bets are off. Any American film can win an Oscar now because Gladiator has done it for them, you know? So listen, I said a lot. I know many of you out there don't agree with me, but I'm still interested in hearing what you have to say about this. So please hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, email, wherever. I'm everywhere. If it's on the internet, I'm everywhere. So my Twitter is @Movie Bronx. My Instagram is @Bronx Movie Club. You can find me. You can email me at bronxmovieclub@gmail.com. You can find me on YouTube @Bronx Movie Club. I'm even on Stardust, you know, at Bronx Movie Club. I'm everywhere. There's no reason for you not to find me. Send me all your love, all your hate, all your arguments. You know, tell me what you think. I would give out my Cash App, but I don't think I can do that on BronxNet. We'll find out. So yeah, hit me up, and I'll talk to you soon. Hello, this is Justin McCullough. I'm sitting here editing this pilot episode, and I just want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess if so, hit me up, email me, tweet me, however you want to get in contact with me. Let me know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you're looking forward to. Give me maybe some ideas from the show. That'd be good too. Can't pay you though. But yeah. Looks like it's going to be a great year. Hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great night.